my name is Savannah Rogers, and I am the ASWSU president. Yeah, one of my biggest goals is actually surrounding the Kook Health Fund, and so that's an endowment that was created last year, and it's completely student-run, student-led, and all of the money goes toward mental health resources and sexual violence prevention resources. And it's
Government job openings include communication specialists, public relation affairs management, and so on. So, government PR jobs make up specialized section of public job market. These candidates have bachelor's or master's from accredited well-known colleges. These candidates, they keep the public informed about the activities of government agencies and officials.
So one thing that Tyler and I did is we actually had a campaign manager, Parker, and he reached out to every single registered student organization on campus that was active and had, at least 5 members.
Both qualify in building relationships with the public and implementing strategies and campaigns, but methods and goals differ between the two. Public affairs relates to the matters that concern the public directly, like legislation, policy, and public administration. Public relations focuses more on the company's connection with the public. PR firms could enhance and strengthen that relationship by implementing marketing and campaigning policies or through press releases.
We used a lot of different ways to publicize our campaign and in the realm of PR. The biggest one being actually face-to-face communication as well as social media. We created a website. We also had a Facebook, a Twitter, and an Instagram, and we had little business cards. And so on that, the front side of it was our faces and our little logo. And then on the back, we had our 5 main pillars of our platform as well as our social media and website links. And so we also had whiteboards that had our 5 different pillars on them. So it would say, what does empowering students mean to you? And then people could write on that what it meant to them. We would take a photo of them with one of us and we would put it on our Facebook page and then tag them in it. And so then their friends are seeing it and they can share the photo. So that was another PR strategy of getting that interaction almost. So it wasn't just us informing of what we were doing, we were trying to engage people in it and have it not just be something that was seen if you followed or liked us, but was getting on other people's timelines automatically. So utilizing, tagging, so it was already showing up on other people's Facebook feeds, or making sure that other people were retweeting our tweets, or liking our Instagram, or even using, sponsored Instagram.
Lobbying is the act of attempting to influence the actions, policies, or decisions of government officials in order to promote an organization's agenda. In a corporate setting, lobbying is also referred to as government relations. Lobbying can positively impact several different kinds of people. These include business people, organized groups, people running for positions in their government, and individuals looking to make a change that would benefit their daily lives. It can be an extremely powerful tool. One example of someone who used lobbying as a public relations tool is Katie Hill. Katie is currently running for Congress in her hometown in California. Her campaign is entirely grassroots and refuses to accept money from corporate PACs. Before her current campaign, she had very little experience in politics. However, she wants to make what she believes will be a positive difference to her community as a leader. Because of this, she focuses most of her energy on lobbying. She must seek out lawmakers and persuade them to vote on certain issues that would affect everyone she leads in her community. Katie demonstrates how lobbying is an essential role to play when you're running for office. However, if carried out the wrong way, lobbying can also lead to disastrous results. An example of this is Jack Abramoff, a lobbyist who was at the center of an explosive investigation in the early 2000s. It led to not only his own conviction, but also 21 other people that pled guilty or were found guilty. Abramoff succeeded in bribing lawmakers for votes favoring his clients, corrupting public officials, evading taxes, and committing fraud. He served 3.5 years in prison. His action showed the entire country how easily money corrupts people in Washington. He now uses his previous actions to positively influence others by speaking out about his past experiences and mistakes. Lobbyists hold a great amount of power. Lobbying should be done responsibly and performed in the best interest of whomever is being represented.
Are that lobbying and public relations both use different types of communications to get their message across, and they both attempt to form a relationship with a certain entity. The main differences between the two are that public relations is more focused on maintaining and building a reputation that correlates to positive emotions and feelings with the general public when the company's image is thought of. True PR is really designed to be upbeat and closely associated with warm and positive feelings.
So my biggest goal for the year is raising funds, and we're really lucky to be partnering with the WSU Foundation for Giving Tuesday. That's the Tuesday following Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and it's really a philanthropic day for people to give back to their communities. And so each year WSU selects a philanthropy or a charity, and so last year it was the Kooks Feeding Kooks program. This year it is the Kook Health Fund, and we're really lucky to be leading it as well, where they're really giving us the reins to do what we want on it. And so with that, we're hoping to raise, as much as was being raised last year, and that was around $70,000. And so if we could do that, that'd be phenomenal. But that's where PR comes in, is because a lot of this is going to be through emailing people or on social media to try and really, pull at their heartstrings and get them to donate money. I think it's kind of the peak of PR is asking people for, time, money, or their talent. That's kind of, it's the time, treasure, talent. You can give one of those three, and we're really asking people for money. And so that's where PR is going to be super important for us, and important for me as I'm helping lead that charge. I think that we had the most engagement on our Twitter and our Facebook. And I think that in years past, it's actually been very telling how many likes you have on your Facebook page, who wins. And that was actually not the case. During our year, we didn't have as many likes on our Facebook page as the other ticket, but we still won, and by more than they had liking their Facebook page. And so I think that's actually where Twitter became influential. We had a lot of people retweeting our tweets, liking our tweets, and we were consistent about it, where we didn't want to be the campaign that only posted once a day. That's if you want to have sustained followers. It was very much so a sprint, not a marathon, and so we were posting, 5 or 6 times a day. Definitely not what you want to be doing for sustainability for an account, but for sure it worked for us because it was just incessant on people's timelines. And if they were following us, there was a very good chance that they were engaging with us, so it was relying on the retweets so that their followers who weren't following us saw our information as well. And that's how we were reaching the students who didn't care, is through the people who did, and it was their friends, because anyone who I knew I was reaching, and so it was, how do we reach the people that we don't know? And we don't know that we're not reaching them because we don't know them. So recently did have one with an incident where a video came out on social media following a philanthropic event from a fraternity, but the video itself was showing cultural appropriation. And so when that statement came out, it was actually around the same time that there was the Daily Evergreen article surrounding an athletics employee and allegations of sexual misconduct. And one risk that we took actually was making it a joint statement where we hit both topics. We didn't want to put out 2 separate ones on the same day within the same time frame, and have one get more publicity than another, have an accusation that we weren't putting out one on the other because people didn't see it. So we decided to do one that was a joint statement. And in that we came to really a couple of different areas of things that we wanted to do. The first one was surrounding sexual misconduct and those allegations, and calling for stronger Green Dot training on this campus, as well as continued conversations, and as well as a resolution just was passed with the ASWSU Senate, looking at interns on our campus, both paid and unpaid, and making sure that they knew their rights in the realm of Executive Policy 15, which surrounds sexual violence, sexual misconduct, harassment on our campus, making sure they knew their rights, they knew where to turn to the Office of Equal Opportunity, OEO. That was realm 1 within that statement. Realm 2 was surrounding cultural appropriation with the fraternity. One of the solutions that we came to was the creation of a program called Diversity Dialogues. And so with that, our co-directors of diversity and inclusion will be hosting educational forums that are really peer-to-peer education and conversation based, so that people are able to share their opinions and learn from one another and come to common ground and really learn and hear each other's perspective and improve and grow and be better allies in the realm of diversity and inclusion, as well as having cultural competency training for the members of the fraternity, saying that that was something that was really necessary, as well as a couple of other areas. The thing being, we didn't want to just say, oh, this is bad. We wanted to say, yes, this is bad, and here's what we should do to change this, to change the culture. To change the culture, and well, to change actions, you have to change the culture. And to change the culture, you have to start with conversations. And conversations begin by calling people out, and calling people out who are your friends as well, and being good allies. And that's where we wanted to do. Start with conversations with those forums and talks, which then can change that culture, and then we'll change the actions.